was. All right, how do y'all want to start?
Got a full, everything's behind you now. They said NCAA stuff, it's all behind you. Got a full complement. Coach Chiswick, new defensive staff. The kids are very excited. They feel like there's a new lease on life in the program, throughout the program.
You're correct. Was that a question or a statement?
Do you think, more than okay, what do you see that shows you that they have the new lease on life?
I think, first of all, let's start off with, this team, as we brought this 2015 team back at the end of, at the beginning of this year, the first thing we did was talk about the issues that we felt like we had as a team, and every single guy on the team got to say what they thought the issues were, and then we addressed every one of those issues. We owned them, and then we got rid of them and said, all right, it's time to move forward, so let's learn from it. And so I think that's one of the things that our kids are excited about, is they feel like, that we did address the things that we felt like were issues on our football team. And I think they're excited about, new guys coming on the staff, a renewed philosophy on that side of the ball. I think you see a level of confidence in those guys that is back, so I think everybody in the program's excited.
And Jeff said,
situation before with players saying other ones don't care and these kind of things.
I think in 27 years of coaching, yes. Every team's different. The chemistry on every football team is different, and I can tell you, I've never been on a successful football team that didn't have good chemistry. And so we work extremely hard on trying to create that each and every year, and it's different every year. It's very fluid how it works, and so it's something that the leaders of the football team have to be aware of all the time, and they're influencing one way or the other all the time, and that's the thing they have to understand. And so they got to make it a positive experience.
It's not a stretch to think there could be a dramatic improvement in the chemistry aspect between last December.
No, I definitely think there could be a dramatic change, and I expect it to.
What were the issues?
It was all kind of issues, Andrew. It was, you've had guys that'll say that there were leadership problems. There were guys that say there were chemistry problems. There were guys that said that they didn't really believe in what we were doing. There's all kind of things, and so I think, one, for us, just getting those things out there and talking about it as a team. And when I say everybody, I'm talking about every player on the team was required to put something on the board. And there were 100-something, issues. Some of them the same, some of them different, some of them abstract, But we talked about every single one of them as a team and how we felt like they impacted our team. And then we owned them. It wasn't like pointing the fingers. It was like, all right, this is who we were. This was our problem. And then all right, let's get rid of them and let's move forward. Let's make sure we don't make these kind of mistakes again.
what was the most consistent thing you guys put on the board?
Leadership.
Did that surprise you at all? Anything surprise you?
No, not really. Not really. Because as a coach, anytime you're not having the success that you feel like you ought to be having, you are dissecting every aspect of your football team to try to figure out what the issue is. It's not like you're just sitting back and doing the same thing over and over. So you're doing everything that you can to try to figure out what the issues and what the problems are. And so I was aware of some of them, but making those changes during the season are pretty difficult.
Coach, do you regret not addressing those things, sooner into your tenure?
No, I don't regret it. I'm not sure I could do it any other way, because you don't know that they're problems until they come up. It's you're not sitting around going, "What if?" all the time. First of all, you're trying to get a team ready to play an opposing team each week and putting together a game plan. And sometimes you don't know what's happening within your team underneath layers. So, and then when you find out, you address it.
Writing things on the board and getting input, is that the first time you've done
That is the first time I've done that, yes.
What have you learned most out of that process for you?
Well, one, I think it was important to show those guys that everybody had a voice in the room. Everybody had a voice. It wasn't just me, the dictator, up there telling them what it was going to be, and me telling them what the problems were. I wanted to hear it from them, and I didn't want guys to say nothing. I wanted to know really what they thought. It was a time for us to close the doors and say, okay, this is it. Let's figure it out. And when we walk out of this room, now we're all behind each other, we're all together, and let's make it go from there.
What gave you the idea to do that?
I don't know. I
You just came up with it on your own?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think. Yeah, I mean, I'm not that I'm trying to take credit for something spectacular. I just, it was okay. This is how we're going to deal with it, So let's hit it head on and let's figure it out.
Larry, there's a lot of talk about the defensive performance last year. In your post-mortem, how would you assess your team offensively overall?
Last year, average.
Why do you think that was?
A combination of things. One, we only had one returner in the offensive line, and so and that's the key to the up front, offensively, defensively, it doesn't matter where you are. You guys have heard it before. That's the key. And we didn't have enough experience coming back in the offensive line, and it took those guys a while to gel, and so it created some issues for us offensively. We didn't have the production from the running backs that we needed to have. Too much pressure was put on the quarterback, and so I just felt like we were average. Now, the bar's pretty high for me, on that side of the ball and what we've done in the past. So it's, I just thought we were average.
Do you feel like you're in a position to address that?
No doubt about it. And I expect us to be much better.
What do you want to do differently?
I want to score more points. I want to take care of the football. I mean, really, that's all. You're asking something that's pretty simple. I mean, it's really for us offensively is take care of the football, and run out of white lines. And we do those two things, and we're going to be okay. And then understanding and how to manage a team during a game, is that you don't have to score every time you get the football. You need to score, kick it a score, or kick your opponent inside their own 30-yard line. If you do that, you got a chance.
Looking at the offense, you've had some pretty good quarterbacks in the past, from Chris Lee to Austin Davis to Brent Renner. Where would Marquise Wood fall in that group?
That's a good question. I mean, I can go all the way back to Wes Counts, to Rex Grossman, Chris Leak, Zach Robinson, Austin Davis. I mean, I'll say this: Marquise is he has the same type of athleticism as Zach Robinson. He throws the ball a lot like Austin Davis. He probably runs the ball better than quite a few of those guys. When he does run, he's not looking to go down. Marquise, when he runs the ball, Marquise is trying to run through people and score. And so he's got a different mentality than most of the quarterbacks I've had. So for me, that's been a little bit of difference that's not necessarily what you want from your quarterback, but I'm not going to take that away from Marquise because that's what makes him who he is. He is a big physical running type of guy. He likes to do that. And so there are so many plays that Marquise makes when you don't have anything. So he extends the play and makes something happen. And so, if you go back and look, most of the runs that Marquise ran last year were not called quarterback runs. They were options that he made happen. So, I'm not going to take that away from him.
He got banged up quite a bit last year. Is there a maturation process involved for him not trying to run over people, maybe sliding?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is, but I can remember talking to a kid that I was recruiting and telling him that, hey, when you get to college, you're not going to be able to run over players like that anymore. And I said, so you got to learn how to do that. And Tim Tebow did it for a long time. I'm not going to tell Marquise that he needs to change his running style.
You guys have so much, all the new defensive staff guys have so many credentials that you brought in on that side of the ball. How much of a turnaround can you reasonably expect from those guys, even with all those credentials in their first year?
Well, I don't know. I don't know how to measure it. I've been asked that question quite a bit. I don't know how to measure it. The only way I think you say is we got to be better. That's it. I mean, if we're just better, then we're a better football team. And how much better, I don't know. I mean, just so that we win football games. So you gotta hold them to one less point than what the offense scores, and the offense got to score one more point than the defense holds them. So, if we do that as a football team, then we're going to be better. So that's hard to measure actually.
Larry, some recruits have expressed confidence that you guys aren't going to get touched by the NCAA. What are you telling kids, and why are you so confident in what you're telling kids on that front?
Well, you know me. I'm a very positive person. And so, there's plenty of people out there going to look at the negative side of everything that we do. I'm pretty positive about that it's going to turn out good for us. One, because I believe we do things the right way. So, I think that plays a role in it. I really do. I don't think that is the main reason why guys choose to come to the University of North Carolina. I really don't. I think guys come because they know they're going to have the opportunity to get a world-class education. They're going to have the opportunity to play football at the highest level. And they know that when they get a degree from the University of North Carolina, when football's over with, they're going to have success because they're going to plug into a network of alumni that are going to take care of them. So I think there's so much more to it than just making a decision based on, well, is the NCAA going to do something or are they not? I think that's just a small part in that everybody plays up as far as the determining factor on where I go to school.
Some kids have said that y'all's lawyers have told you guys that you're going to be okay. What are you guys hearing from the attorneys, and you pass that on? Basically, is that accurate? Kind of what?
There parts of it are accurate. You go watch if 5 people go watch a wreck, you interview all 5 of them, ask them what they saw. Every one of them's going to tell you something different. But it's going to all be right. So there are parts of that are right. I feel confident that things are going to turn out good. I really do. I think that's going to be maybe a surprise to some people and not to some people. I don't know. But I feel like, that the kids sense our confidence in what's going on. And so I think that just reassures that they're going to be okay.
Coach, at the running back position, you've had 4, 5, 6 guys in the past couple of years that have contributed. This upcoming season, do you sort of see the position as sort of anything, or are you looking for more players?
Well, if you go back to when Gio was our main guy, we still had other backs that played and contributed in every game, actually. But I would like a guy to step out front and be the guy. I would love for that to happen. But I can tell you we've had success both ways doing it. So if it doesn't work that way, we're okay. I'm very confident in that position and that unit on our football team that we've got guys that can carry the load and guys that can make it happen.
Jeff Schottmer said yesterday that the first time Gene Chizik walked into the room, he commanded everybody's respect. They kind of sat up because of what he's accomplished. How much does that mean to in trying to turn things around, and how much did that factor into your decision to hire him?
Well, quite a bit, actually. Because Gene's reputation is going to precede him. So everybody knows who he is. Everybody knows what he's accomplished. Okay, he's got a great resume. All right. So that alone, just that name and bringing him into our program, first of all, not only our team but our fan base, gave him a lot of excitement. And then the team itself. You're right. From the very first day, when they found out, you saw a different look in their eyes. And that is to me, that's a big factor in success. Just the confidence alone.
And through spring practice, what kind of impact have you seen him make in trying to improve that defense?
I think that he was, for me, he had a very distinct progression of the way he wanted to teach his defense. He didn't rush it. He wasn't worried about whether he won spring or not. All he wanted to do was make sure we came out of spring, those guys understood the base defense and had learned the fundamentals of the defense. And that is something he felt like he accomplished, and that has given those guys confidence. And that's the thing that they lost.
Larry, the last couple of years, you've kind of been digging out of holes, getting behind the 8 ball early, losing some games. How important is it to get off to a better start right off the bat with that Thursday night game against South Carolina?
It's always important. There's never a game that we play that it's not important that we win. So it's going to be important. We want that game to be. It's going to be a measuring stick of where we are as a program. It'll tell us something. They're a great program. You're talking about Steve Spurrier, and he's going to have a team prepared, and he's a Hall of Fame football coach. And so it'll be a great challenge for us, and I couldn't be more excited about it.
You got to feel a little bit more confident going into that game this time than you did the last time you played them in the opener. Your program's got a little bit more maturity to it.
Yeah, and that kid they had at defensive end in there, so that's a little bit better. I'm not saying that they won't have another one, but that one was pretty dang good.
Larry, you obviously have no control over who you play in the conference, but is it an advantage to go into a season and know that you're not playing Florida State or Clemson in your crossover games?
I guess I don't know where everybody's picked them. I understand that there was a poll or something that came out today. Where were they picked?
First and second.
All right, so then that's an advantage.
Which position group right now are
you most excited about in terms of what you know you have in them heading into the season? And which one are you really looking to make good strides in the fall to get where you need them to be?
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say there's a single position on the team that's arrived. I mean, I can't do that. That's not my nature. I would hate for them to think that they've arrived, so I'm not going to say that. I do feel like, there's a lot of positions on the team that we now have guys in place that we can win a Coastal Division championship with. But then there are a lot of other positions on this team and units on this team that we still need quite a bit of improvement to get there. So, we're going to have to play much better up front defensively, to get to where we want to be. So there's going to be a lot of pressure on those guys this year.
How close is Quinshot to being, back to being
He's back.
Quinshot?
He's 100% right now. Yeah, I mean, we met yesterday on, with our trainers, and they say he's back at 100%.
Considering how the defense was the point the defense was last year, and considering Gene's first year on your staff, I mean, how much realistic improvement are you expecting or hoping for with the defense this year?
How much? I don't know how to measure that. I just want us to be better. I just want us to be better, and if we do that, then we're going to be a better football team. So I really believe that we're going to be better. I really do. I think with the Gene and the staff that we have and the job that they're doing and the confidence that the defensive guys have, I think we're going to be a better football team.
Hey, Coach, before you